This is Sybert signing into Red Alert 3 on the map Infinity Isle, and once again, I am joined by the wonderful DasDuelon. How are you doing once again?
I'm still doing very fine, and I'm very pleased to be here.
Alright, excellent. Spawning as the Green Empire on the left side. He is returning from that last game. He is Technique.
And on the right side of the map, playing the blue allies, it's Maniek, the Cryo Master.
Indeed, indeed. And I mean, if we don't see some sick cryo play out of Maniac, I will almost be disappointed. Although I do like to see variety.
Well, yeah, it is to be expected when you see Maniac play.
Yeah, so actually, interestingly enough, we have absolutely no walls coming out of Technique just yet. I don't know, maybe he plans on adding walls a little bit later, but of course this means that any sort of Riptide and Javelin Trooper play potentially will just be that much easier for Maniac to pull off. I don't know if he's actually going to, but...
The Riptide thing, just as the thing you just mentioned, is actually the only thing, the only reason why you would wall off against an allies player as Empire, since since most part of the allied force is Air Force. So
Vindicators just don't care. I just fly.
Maniac is building a lot of peacekeepers. Oh my god.
He did sell off the barracks, it looks like, and he didn't go dual racks, if I'm mistaken. But yeah, you're right. He does have quite a few peacekeepers. However, I think Technique has enough to hold the line here. A couple more are going to be rallied in, and the Mecha Bay goes down. Or is deployed, rather. It doesn't go down.
This move with the peacekeepers is really aggressive, and I feel it's a little risky, since if Technique would build one core, like a barracks core or something, and he would put all the Imperial Warrior on Swords mode, so the peacekeepers would change to shields, he would be able to run all of them over. So that's really risky, and I think that's what Technique's wanting to do right now. He just needs to getting his core forced a little bit.
Yeah, Maniac, that was solid stutter step, and the Imperial Warriors weren't really close enough to do anything about it.
Yeah.
Bonsai Charge does go off, but Maniac actually does a good job of neutralizing 3 of the 4 Imperial Warriors. However, Technique is going to be dropping down a barracks pretty much on the front line. He will be losing the oil derrick, which is pretty annoying, but he has had his 3rd refinery up so much longer than actually Maniac's is just now going down, so it's a lot faster.
Right. Yeah, it was a little bit unfortunate, but still manageable. The whole, I don't know, I can't remember the exact the exact kind of money that the oil derrick gives. I think it's like half a refinery. So it's like you notice when you get when it's destroyed.
Yeah, I don't remember the exact ratio either. I don't think it's half a refinery. I think it might be a little bit less.
Yeah, a little bit less.
Yeah, it's like 450 credits a minute. I mean, it certainly adds up. And maybe if the game is like 2 minutes long, not that big of a deal. But as the game goes on to like the 10, 20-minute mark, it's certainly a big deal. We do have one Tsunami tank, which is all by his lonesome. I'm not sure that Technique is going to be able to do anything with this at all. I'm kind of confused by this.
Just a little bit damage to... Oh, Manic actually dropping... he is
okay, there we go. There we go.
Yes, he is a cryocopter.
Yeah. I saw that as well, where he Whoa, we actually have a 4th refinery coming out of Eminent or Technique in the north side there.
What is it doing there?
Is this actually? Is he actually going for that expansion?
He's going for the expansion behind the allied base, which is kind of smart, since it's never going to be scouted like anytime soon.
Yeah,
it shouldn't be actually. Maybe if Manic misclicks or something, but. There's no way he's actually searching for a refinery over there.
Oh my gosh, that is actually pretty great. Quick thing to note, 2 Vindicators came in and cleaned up a couple of Chopper VXs in the base of Technique. So, I mean, Technique, he's a little bit low in terms of army, but considering that Maniac's army is mainly in the air, he can still defend and survive for a little bit longer here.
Right.
Wait a second, did he MCV sell? I think he did.
I didn't notice, but yeah, that's how he got the engineer for the tower in the middle of the map.
We actually
guess.
just missed, I believe, 2 Apollos and a Vindicator just went down. But yeah, so Technique did MCV cell, a little bit different from what we saw last game, where last game was like fast 3 refs, fast MCV cell. This was like fast 3 refs, delayed 4th ref, MCV cell, YOLO, swag it, let's go.
Well,
and,
I question that MCV cell a little, since cryocopters make you play so defensively, and when you sell your MCV, you actually want to be aggressive in the next couple of minutes. So I'm kind of I'm wondering what the plan is for Technique here. From the unit mix he's getting, I guess he's going for mass air. So he wants to switch his strikers when he has enough Tengus. He wants to switch his strikers to air mode and like snipe off the airfield. That's the thing he wants to do, maybe. But now he's switching back to tsunami tanks.
I'm a little bit confused.
Yeah. He's a little bit indecisive, I feel.
Yeah, and I mean, maybe that'll end up playing a big deal, but he is sitting on 4 refinery economy, and that's something that we can't forget about. Looks like Maniek is going to be pulling in a pretty good engagement, but he'll definitely lose 1 Vindicator. Almost lost a 2nd Oh, whoa! He just trashed 2 Apollos.
Oh my god. Well, that was unfortunate.
That actually that changed things quite a bit, because as long as Maniek maintains, I mean, even now he's got 2 airfields, but he's only got 3 aircraft. As long as Maniek can maintain that air dominance, his cryocopters are practically impossible, and they allow his ground army to be so efficient that it's almost disgusting. Right. But it's like, if you lose your Apollos and your Vindicators, suddenly Tengus are pretty terrifying.
Yeah, right.
So
what I find quite interesting right now is how many players will take this 4th refinery players in the ladder.
now that Technique has done it. Hey man, if it's good enough for Technique, who wouldn't do it?
All right.
I mean, we're gonna see Soviet players take it. That's how good this is gonna be.
Going there with the Sputniks.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, that engagement looks really bad for the Allied player. Really bad.
Yeah, that kind of got a bit messy. I think that most of the units that went down were indeed Maniacs, which, I mean, that's great for Technique, very bad for Maniac. And I mean, this is kind of an interesting situation that I've seen many an Allied player go into, where it's like they're going for this heavy air dominance, but if we look at Technique, he's been slowly building up his tsunami tank armies, and is there actually anything on the ground to stop those tsunami tanks? Maybe, maybe not. I mean, of course, as we see...
are really good.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's the cryocopters. Oh, and he lifted all of his VX, so they're now defenseless against those Apollos.
Yeah, that was a nice identification by Maniac.
And retreating just as he feels like it's the cooldown on the transformation skill is getting low. So really nice timing by Maniac to snipe off that 1 VX.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Technique cleaned up the dog in the back of his base, the very first dog, or the very first unit that was actually built, and now sniping off that harvester in the main base. It's ridiculous how fast cryocopters freeze a harvester. It was like 2 seconds.
Yeah, and I mean, once you get up to that 4 or 5 like cryocopter number, if the Empire player doesn't have a Tengu cloud, actually this is a nice harassment by Technique, and actually if Maniac pulls too many forces, Technique might be able to push in the front door. We'll have to see if that actually happens. But yeah, that Tengu gets locked down pretty hard. It did pull a harvester offline a little bit.
Yeah, right.
Actually, Maniac sent an Apollo out to check on Technique just to make sure that nothing was happening, I should think.
Really nice play by Maniac there.
Yeah, nice awareness.
Keeping an eye on Technique's army there.
Yeah. And actually, Technique has rebuilt his MCV. I did miss that. But I was thinking that Technique had cleared out that dog just to make Maniac think he was going to be expanding there, but he actually is. Maniac camps his Apollos over those strikers.
My God. For some reason, he only lost 2 there.
Yeah.
I was sure they were pretty much all dead. But
yeah, I thought that was going to be a lot worse than it was actually.
Yeah. Looked a lot worse, at least. So Maniac is not Maniac. Technique is actually getting his 5th base on Infinity Aleph. I don't quite remember an Empire player taking 5 bases on this map like ever. So yeah.
Yeah, there's been a couple of replays I think in the last year, but other than that, I haven't seen it in quite a while either.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Maniek, I feel like he has these moments where some of his units slip up and maybe he's not like absolutely perfect with his control. Technique takes advantage, does some damage, but then Maniek is like, okay, well, I'm just gonna snipe a Harvester. I'm gonna even the game up anyways. So it feels like Maniek has lost quite a bit of stuff, but at the same time, he doesn't have a weak army. Once again, flying his Apollos over.
Shoot. What? Oh, now he's getting in with Vindicators as well.
Yeah.
Oh, he's forgetting about one Apollo now.
Oh, he does lose it.
Yeah. Really unfortunate losses there. He lost so many. Think about the amount of Apollos he just lost by being a little bit sloppy or off regarding his control.
Yeah, just so, like throughout the game, it feels like it's been quite a few.
Yeah, that was like just the amount of money he put into those Apollos. Imagine if he would have put that money in more infantry or tanks or whatever.
Yeah.
Or more cryocopters.
Even more Riptide Harass, which is actually just skirting around down the south side of the island. Oh, in the north side, I think Maniek actually, his Apollos just definitely spotted that expansion. Yeah. So he's probably pretty unhappy about that.
Yeah. Just, I would like to see his face when he clicks on the refinement, sees that just now Technique hit mined exactly 10,000 credits of it.
Yeah, and Technique gets the sell, so good on him. Oh, wow. If we look on the south side of the map, that one Riptide has pulled about 40 billion Tengus. Oh my gosh. Half of Technique's army is actually completely out of position right now.
Technique really hates that Riptide, it seems like.
He's rallied 3 more Tengus down. You are right. He absolutely hates that Riptide.
There is that push out.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't... I don't know that it was necessarily as effective as it could have been, as the Tengus are pretty much arriving just now. I don't know if they'll be able to transform in time to actually save this Mecha Bay. No, it does go down, and the Apollos are now just feasting on these Tengus. A lot of crushes coming out here from Technique. That was actually some really nice crushing. Maniek definitely dropping the ball there.
Yeah.
And
but also Technique forgot about his air, most of his air. He lost a lot of Tengus just by not noticing that he got attacked by Apollos there.
Yeah.
But anyhow, he came on top of this he came out on top of this engagement.
I'm not sure if his second Mecha Bay is up to tier 2 or not, though. That's the only thing.
I think it's just tier 1. I can see it. It's just 1 bar on top of it.
Yeah, see, for some reason, my game doesn't display those anymore. Like, I can see them for Maniek.
Sometimes it gets displayed.
Aha! As Technique swoops in.
For me.
Yeah, he finally took out that airfield, which is something that ideally he would have liked to do a couple of minutes earlier. He's actually going to be going for the ore refinery, and he has enough Tengus to protect these strikers, so he should be able to get it.
We really want Javelin or Multi-Gunner right now. Multi-Gunner, like the, what they call Multi-Gunner
IFV, yeah. He had one. Wasn't quite enough, but now the Tengus are a little bit out of position. And actually going for the... My gosh, Maniek, he keeps swooping in with the Apollos. He comes in, he fires off like 4 shots, and then he just gets out of there.
It's just really, really minor engagements there. Really careful with his Apollos right now. Should have been really careful with the Apollos like the whole game. But anyhow, not going in this engagement, which I really disagree with, since he's throwing away so many units. But well, maybe he can get lucky and get a few more. Or the Javelin troopers are really cost efficient, but still.
Oh, he is going to be able to kill the MCV for sure. Although it is going to be at the cost of some of his army and his economy back home. So we'll have to see if in the long run this is actually worth it. Emperor's Rage does fire off.
Holy, that was close.
Oh, wow, yeah, that was actually pretty close.
A lot closer than I thought.
And actually, I mean, there's still a couple of Guardian tanks here, but there's also Tsunamis and Strikers in the air. There's also some veterancy that's going to be passed around between these units, as we've got an elite Tsunami tank and a fully heroic Guardian.
Both MCVs are getting sniped right now.
Oh, yeah, I completely missed that.
Most of his infrastructure just so the turret has enough energy. But right now it doesn't even matter anymore.
Wow, so, oh, the Vindicators do come in. They snipe down almost all of the Tengus. There's still one Tengu left, and that Multigunner IFV got the kill. He is the absolute hero. Maniac's entire army has been decimated, and certainly, when we look at the resource graph, Technique is going to be way, way in the lead. So as long as he's still got that Mecha Bay, he's still got a chance for sure. As he's charging forward with a lot of these units. He will be losing a couple of strikers there, but he's rolling on in with the Tsunami tanks, and this is probably going to be GG from Maniac.
Yeah, as soon as the airfield is gone, there's nothing he can do about it. Yeah, that's it. So, really nicely played by Technique, and sneaking that refinery in the back of making Maniac's base.
Yeah.
Never have seen that before, but really nice idea.
My gosh, and Maniac actually technically will hold the game, but yeah, he drives forward and he's like, oh, you've still got like 50 million resources and a mecha bay, so...
Well, yeah.
Yeah, Maniac at the end there, once he lost that airfield, he had no MCV, no production structures, no way to actually spend any money, so economics at that point was entirely on Technique's side.
Yeah.
So, that was a really enjoyable game.
Yeah, it was quite fun. And the fourth refinery, I still can't believe that he built that there.
Yeah, just like, is he? He's not gonna do that, right? No, he's gonna go for like the water expansion that's kind of in a silly position. No, he's going for it. And he made it work. He got 10 grand out of that refinery at least.
Yeah.
Yep.
You can see that in the resource tab in the very last thing. You can really see that that fourth base really made the difference there.
Yeah, and I mean, you gotta hand it to Maniac. He was doing a lot of nice little harassment pushes, but it was never really the big damage-dealing blows that he needed to do to really weaken Technique. And Technique was like, all right, well, I'm just going to engage smartly with my Tengus, maybe a couple of slip-ups here and there, but ultimately, I'm just going to eat your Air Force time and time again. And then when the time came for it, the Air Force simply wasn't there anymore. But I think that'll be doing it. Any final words, Das?
No, nothing except for maybe thank you for watching.
Yes, indeed. Thank you very much for watching. I hope everyone did enjoy it. This is Sybert, signing out.